at this stage of the tournament. Congratulations to PSV, who made it through after extra time, also trailing in that first leg as well. But let's see what it does mean for those Italian teams.
There's only one left.
We saw from Atalanta and Milan yesterday. Right? Feyenoord, Club Brugge putting out Atalanta, and now PSV saying bye-bye to Juventus.
Yeah, I mean...
All right, Craig, what does this say for the Serie A right now?
Oh, no, I talked about that yesterday. I never really want to get into, this league and that league. It's just, obviously for the big sides in Italy, at the moment, they're not the best. Obviously Napoli and Inter are up there. Atalanta was a surprise for me, because Atalanta at one point were, I think, top of the league and certainly in the title race. That was a shock to me, the fact that they were 3-0 down at half-time. Their first game, there was a horrendous penalty decision. But that was a surprise to me. But this is, I suppose, also a surprise. Even though Juve are not the best team by a stretch in Serie A, Thiago Motta was going to come in from Bologna and they're going to play this style of football, and it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. So, obviously, I never expected any of these three Italian teams to be super competitive in terms of winning it. I think Inter's a different kettle of fish. And I've touched on that, but it is a surprise. It is a surprise when they've gone out to two teams from Holland and a team from Belgium, which is not renowned to be really, really strong in this competition. So I would imagine it's not going to go down particularly well back in Italy.
And that's exactly the point. I don't want to make sweeping statements about a league, but you cannot help but think, okay, here's Juventus, La Vecchia Signora, all this history of success in this competition, and they're going out in this sort of manner against PSV. Atalanta, Club Brugge, and then Milan, again, monsters of this competition, and they go out to Feyenoord at home. And so, without making sweeping statements about Serie A,
make it.
No, I will not. All I would suggest is, these are just not good teams. Juventus is not a good team. It is not a team that is well put together. It is not a team that when you watch them play, you have an idea as to what they want to do. And beyond the tactical approach of Thiago Motta, the talent level for Juventus, as compared to what it has been, the drop-off is significant. And we can say the same thing about Milan, and it's a different story about Atalanta. But there is a drop-off in talent level at the very top of Serie A that we equate that with Milan and Juventus and those guys being major players in that league. That's not quite the case. It's Inter, Napoli currently in Serie A, and then everybody else. Everybody else right now has fallen off the cliff, and they don't seem to have a plan to actually get back to a level in which they can compete in Champions League.
Juve beat Inter at the weekend, and then they can't get past PSV today, Frank.
Yes, and I know that we are all saying, and Craig is the first, that watching League One is boring, but I can tell you that the Serie A is getting closer and closer to the Ligue 1. And you know what? Except Inter Milan, except Paris Saint-Germain, what I see from we don't compare clubs. Milan, Juventus, huge clubs, no problem in the history of football. We are talking about teams. When I watch Juventus, when I watch Milan, and I watch other teams in Ligue 1, I don't see so much differences. And, so they have to stop, thinking that they still have the best championship in the world. They used to have it when Jurgen was there, that's for sure. And they are like 4 or 5 teams competing for Europe and could win the Champions League. It's not the case anymore. That they have to calm down, they have to lower the expectancies, because really, what we see and what we saw lately from Italian clubs, except Inter Milan, is not what we are expecting for sure from big clubs like that.
Why is he always throwing me under the bus?
Always.
Why are you always throwing me under the bus about French football?
Because you don't like Ligue 1. The day you will like Ligue 1, I love the Scottish League, I will talk to you again.
I didn't say I didn't like Ligue 1. I have no idea where you can watch Ligue 1. I mean, is it in here? Where is it? In that pocket? Where can you find it? I can't watch it.
How is this going to go down in Italy, Jurgen? How will this go down, what we've seen from these teams exiting at this stage?
Yeah, Kate, this is a big shocker, an absolute big shocker these 2 days, with AC Milan going out, Juventus today. I think they forgive Atalanta Bergamo, because Atalanta has done so well the last couple of years, and they made also so many surprise wins that they forgive them to go out, even if it's Club Brugge, obviously not the biggest team in Europe, but they forgive them that, you know, it was a bad day or two bad games. It was not the Atalanta that we're used to see in the Serie A or before also in the Champions League. So, but Juventus and AC Milan going out at this stage, at this point in time, against those teams that they lost, is a no-go. It's an absolute no-go for Italian football. And this will be now tomorrow in the papers, going up and down in the media in Italy. They are angry. They will be angry. And I don't know, maybe, Frank is right. You know, the Italians in a certain way, they focus only on the result. So the result justifies everything, but not the style of play, not the type of football that they're going to play. And now when obviously the results are not there, they're going to go extremely into details. Why did we lose this game? Why don't we play, an attacking-minded football? Why don't we play attractive football, like, in other countries they're trying to do that. When you would talk to an Italian and say, we're going to start with a front four like Real Madrid, 4 attacking players going at you, they would kill you. They would not let you out on the field if you do that in Italy. Because if they maybe go with 2 attackers, then that's already a lot. If you have 2 strikers on the field, that's a lot, because the first thing, and I go through that experience right now because my son playing in the second league in Cesena, and every weekend I see the games, and the teams go on the field not to lose. They're not going on the field to win. They're going on the field not to lose the game. And this is really difficult, because then you have exceptions like Atalanta Bergamo over the last couple of years, and Inter that build a brand, they build a style, they build a very strong roster. They have actually 2 teams as a roster now that they can field out. But the rest is running after the modern game. Juventus is not getting their act together. AC Milan is not getting their act together. And you talk about Roma, or you talk about Lazio, and obviously Napoli is coming back now under Conte. But this is a huge shock what happened now today, and obviously yesterday. And I don't want to be in Italy tomorrow. Absolutely not.
Well, Jurgen, let me ask you about your former team, Inter, because it could be PSV or Feyenoord next for them. Can you see them making a run in this year's tournament?
Yeah, I see them being able to make a run, because Inter matured a lot the last couple of years under Inzaghi, and as a club itself as well. They have an identity. They have a style of play. They play tactically very modern. They switch the positions on the field. They come usually out of a 3-5-2, but they can always go into a 3-4-3. They're very, very flexible in the way they play, and they have outstanding individual players as well. But most importantly, they have a spirit. They have a winning spirit. They have a leadership within the club that starts from their president, Marotta, to obviously their team leader, Martinez, which is a World Cup winner. So they have Italian at their spine. When we talked to them, and Greg talked about the spine is Italian formed as well. And so they are in a time period right now where you can really see them actually maturing towards winning the Champions League. But it took them several years, but I think they're ready for it.